Hey guys, Ultra Maximus here. Make sure to click all the things. Subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. And follow me on all the social medias. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Links in the description below. Oh, hey, look, it's little Optimus Prime. You're an idiot. He sucked. Transformers! Oh, hey, look! It's great value Optimus Prime! You're an idiot. Oh, hey, look! It's Optimus Minimus! You're an idiot. Oh, hey, look! It's Ultra Maximus! No, you idiot. That's the dumbass that makes these stupid cartoons. Hey guys, Ultra Maximus back with another toy review, and today we're going to take a look at another Transformers figure, and it's from Transformers Kingdom. It's Ultra Magnus. So this is the Leader Class Earth Mode Ultra Magnus figure, which I'm really super excited about. I found this guy at my local Target on the south side of Indianapolis in the Center Grove area, and I was really debating whether I wanted to get him or not because I've got the Siege version, but this is the Earth Mode version, and, well, while I do like the Siege version, I definitely wanted to check out the Earth Mode as it's one of my favorite Magnus figures. So let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. So here we have Ultra Magnus in the packaging, and it's the same type of package that we've been getting for Earthrise and for Kingdom and all Siege, all that kind of stuff. Really, I guess this one's a little different from Siege. It's more of the little window thing, but we get his vehicle mode kind of wrap around into the robot, which looks cool. The top's got an Autobot logo. I just really like that artwork right there. That looks slick. And there's Magnus hiding in his little window. Side of the package is the same kind of poster art we have been getting on these figures. Nothing's changed there. Back of the package shows Magnus in his full Magnus mode. Then he's in his little Prime mode and his vehicle mode. Key differences with this figure, of course, is he's in the Earth truck mode here, and the body is looking more Earth-like, but he looks very chunky there. That's kind of funny. The big full mode doesn't look too much different from the Siege version. I'll have to see if I can dig out my Siege Magnus and do a comparison, but yeah, overall, I think it looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and get Magnus out of the package and see what we think. So here we have the Kingdom Ultra Magnus out of the packaging here, and it's a good figure. It's the same figure we got in Siege. He's slightly retooled, and he has a different paint app. Now, the figure itself is as sturdy as the other figure, the original Siege figure, which is one of my favorites out of the line. And Ultra Magnus is one of my favorite characters. However, there are a few minor things I kind of noticed between this one and the Siege version. Some are kind of but some of them are kind of okay, so the tooling. There is some difference in the tooling, especially in the armor. This is different armor platings here. It's different on the stacks up here. And I think on the arms has a little bit different tooling, just different paneling. And I'm really kind of bummed out they did not put an Autobot tempo on the shoulder here where it should have gone. The other thing I've noticed, obviously we've got some paint differences. His gun here is all nice and silver. He's missing the other gun that the Siege figure came with. The missiles look a little bit different. There's some paint missing on the knees. There were some red paint apps on the silver that are no longer there on this version. He's got a completely white belt. And this is probably what irks me the most, is up here on the top of his stacks. He's got these little blue bits instead of it being white like the original Siege version was. That being said, the rest of the figure is actually pretty clean painted, and if you didn't like all that kind of silver wash battle damage on the Siege version, this might be the one for you. The back, again, very similar, except he's got the more, you know, Earth cab buttocks sitting right there. I like the fact he's got the white bumper instead of the red bumper. I know the red bumper is G1 accurate, but I've always hated it. My original toy had a white bumper, and that's what I like. He does have an Autobot logo on the license plate, which is pretty cool. But nice if the license plate was silver and the Autobot logo there, but that's a minor nitpick. Other than that, I mean, it looks pretty much the same. Articulation is exactly the same on the figure, so the head is on a ball joint here. Arms move up and down. They do move outward at the shoulder. There's a mushroom peg at the upper arm. He's got a very nice, joint at the elbow. The hands do twist. There is a slight twist at the waist. This one's, a little tight on the joints, so, is what it is. Nice ratchet joint on the hips. Doesn't go back very far. Kicks out really nice, like that. We've got a really deep knee joint, which is kind of cool. And then the feet, they hinge outward with an ankle rocker pivot that we love, but that's really more for transformation, but it's still there, and you take off the leg bit. Oh, hang on. Yeah, there we go. Off-screen magic. Yeah, the leg bit popped off. Yeah, so we got the ankle rocker pivot that we, of course, love. And yeah, that's about as far wide as he's going to go with both feet still flat on the floor. So here we have Ultra Magnus in his little prime mode, and I, for the most part, like this. He is a chunky little monkey, though. Looks like he could drop a few pounds around the waist, kind of like me. So I can definitely relate to him, but it does make him for a very big, bulky bot. I like the way he looks. Everything about the figure, though, is pretty much designed like the other Ultra Magnus figure. Transformation is exactly the same. Articulation is the same. So the head moves up and down on all around. It is on a ball joint. Arms move up and down. They've got a hinge joint here. It's got a mushroom peg right there, a really nice elbow joint, and the arms twist just like the larger version of Magnus. Now the waist does move a lot better in this mode because it doesn't have the big backpack. And then the legs kick up that far. They don't kick back very far at all. Nice and ratchety. Kicks out really, really well. We've got a nice deep knee joint right there. And then the feet, well, they've got that crazy ankle rocker pivot we love, with this being his widest possible stance with both feet still flat on the floor. So taking a closer look at the figure itself, the sculpt on this is really good. It's basically the same that we got before, with a little bit of armor differences, like I said at the beginning of the video. I really wish there was an Autobot logo on his arm, though. That kind of bugs me. I do not like the blue tips at the top of the stacks. That just looks silly to me. The back of the figure, very boxy. Again, it's the truck all combined up on itself, which looks fine. It makes him look nice and bulky. I definitely dig that. I do like the cleaner look of this figure, although the colors are very deep and dark. A dark blue, dark red, and I just kind of want it to be a little bit brighter, but it's not bad at all. And then looking at the midsection of the figure, again, sculpted well. Dark blue. He's got the gray at the mid arms, which is okay. I prefer that to be white. I do like the all white belt on him. That looks pretty cool. He's got his silver gun. I feel like that should be white. I know the original toy was white. I can't remember in the film if it was white or not, but it's okay looking. It looks like Magnus's gun, I suppose. And then we get the truck cab kind of hanging out at the bottom. Again, I kind of prefer that more, Earth-style mode truck, but I do like that kind of robots in disguise one for Siege as well. Overall, again, looks more like the G1 version that we saw in the 86 film. And finally, taking a look at the legs of the figure, again, it's pretty much what we got on the original Siege figure. I believe there's a little bit of difference in some of the detailing on the armor. I know there's red paint missing off the kneecaps on the silver there. It's just straight silver. Everything else on the front of it looks about the same from what I could tell. I love the fact that the wheels do have the silver paint on the, hubcaps. That looks nice. Everything wraps around, very boxy. No open, gaping parts on the figure, which is very, very cool, save for the top of the stacks on his shoulders. But yeah, the legs are very stable, very wide, and do well for this figure. So taking a closer look at the figure itself, I love the sculpt on the head. I mean, it's the standard Prime sculpt we've been getting, but I love the blue mask and the red eyes. The white looks good. I like the upper chest with the translucent blue windows. He's got the Autobot logo. All the armor bits look good. I do not like the itty-bitty little stacks. I think they need to be bigger and silver painted, but it is what it is. We get the backpack, which is the front bumper of the truck. Again, I like the way that looks. Love the Autobot logo on it. Love how it's a white bumper, not red, which I know is G1 canon, but I think this looks better. But yeah, definitely cool. Love this look. But I'd love to see this with an all-white mask like they did in G1. We had this one, but the rare version did not have any paint on the head, which I had as a kid and didn't know it was rare, and I kind of wish I had it back, because that's what I think of when I think of this little Prime mode that Grimlock calls him. Both are cool, but I wouldn't mind a redux of that. Maybe that's what you put in that top secret Netflix version of this. I don't know. What do you guys think? Taking a look at the midsection of the figure, again, sculpted pretty well. It's essentially the Siege mold with a different chest on it. We got the white everywhere, the white hands and the white arms. He does have the gray on the kind of elbow areas. I do like the blue belt on this version. That's a nice bright blue, and it's got a very Optimus kind of look going on, which is cool. The grill looks good, the silver paint, all that looks good. It's just, a slightly tooled different Magnus Cybertron versus Earth mode. And then finally, taking a look at the legs of the figure, they're exactly the same that we got on the Siege version of this guy. No real changes there. Looks good. It stands well. I mean, it's all white. We get the little gray clips, though. And all the little armor bits look good. I do like the gray paint on the hubcaps. On the tire, very nice. He's got his heel spurs that help balance him out in this mode, which is really, really cool. And, well, everything else is just white plastic. For comparison, here we have the Leader Class Ultra Magnus from Transformers Kingdom next to the Transformers Siege Optimus Prime. And as you can see, he's quite a bit bigger than the Optimus. Of course, you basically have this Optimus folded up to make the bulk of Ultra Magnus here with the armor on and everything. But he's definitely a pretty good sized figure. I don't know if I would call these Leader Class nowadays. They seem, I don't know, more like an Ultra Class used to be. And but I guess that's the new Leader Class. It's just, I got a bit more stuff and slightly bigger, slightly cooler, and much more expensive. For comparison, let's bring back in Optimus Prime from Siege and kind of look at the difference between the two bots. And this is where you're really going to see the difference in the chest. He just has a much bigger, bulkier chest, and the big thing is the kind of cut down in the waist that Optimus has, that Ultra Magnus does not. Now, the other design, the Siege design for Magnus, had a different cab, so it kind of made it look a little bit different. With this Earth-style cab, he just looks like a chunky monkey. And that's okay, I don't mind. It's got a very Optimus kind of vibe to it. Even the blue belt that he's got going on has that kind of Optimus vibe, as you can see next to the Siege version. And I gotta say, I think this version of Magnus would make a great repaint of that Energon Armada trilogy one, where he had the multiple trailers with the different colors, and he looked all chunky and fat. You know the one I'm talking about. This guy could be an easy repaint for that for Generations Selects. So here we have Ultra Magnus in his vehicle mode, and it looks pretty good. It's almost exactly the same trailer that we saw in the Siege figure, and it's just as fiddly to get it together as that previous version. Putting it together is kind of a pain. The best way I have found to do that is to take one of the leg bits and plug the red part, that's the chest, into one side first. So clip it in here, here, and then you can clip there, and that way it can rest there, and then push this side in to clip it, you know, here, here, and then down here, and then right here behind this missile. Otherwise, it's just kind of a pain in the butt. That being said, I mean, it looks pretty decent. I still wish this would fold down so you could actually put a car inside, but alas, we do not get that. I love the front cab. I think that looks amazing. That's the whole reason I even bought this. Absolutely gorgeous. We get the kind of hand bits in the back. I'll take the cab off here in a minute to kind of show that off as well, but overall it looks pretty decent. Now, this is the official way you're supposed to put him into the vehicle mode. However, I don't particularly care for this because it doesn't look very G1. I'm going to take his blaster out of here, and then these missiles should really be up here, up front. That is the classic position to have Ultra Magnus's missiles since G1, and that's the way I prefer to have his missiles set up. But you know what? You display your Ultra Magnus the way you want to. And here we have Ultra Magnus with his cab detached from the trailer, and of course we've got the hands and the feet hanging off the back, just like we did in the original version and with Optimus Prime. But when you've got the trailer on it, you really don't see that, so that's fine, I suppose. But yeah, I love the way that cab looks. I think it looks really good, really nice. I'm not a fan of the pipes on the top of the cab. I wish they were off to the side, but that's, I guess, a minor gripe. So is the Transformers Kingdom Leader Class Ultra Magnus a figure that you want in your Transformers collection? Well, if you've already got the Siege figure, this could be a pass for you. They're essentially the same figure with some minor redeco on the armor and a different paint job. The little cab, little prime, whatever you want to call him, is the Earth mode version. So if you did not like that kind of robots in disguise style cab on the Cybertron or Siege version of the figure, then this might be the one. Or if you just missed that figure and you're looking for a Magnus, this could be a good one to put in there. Do you need both? That's kind of hard to say. I do like this figure a lot. Do I think it was worth buying it again for $50 again? So now I'm down $100 on Ultra Magnus figures, one in a Cybertron mode, one in an Earth mode. I don't know. That's hard to say. I really like them both. I do not regret buying this figure, but if it came down to one or the other, to me, they could be easily interchanged. So take that for what it's worth. There he is, Ultra Magnus from Transformers Kingdom. Hey guys, thanks for watching. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Be sure to click all the things, subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell for new videos, and follow me on all the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Links in the description below.